Hello then. Alright. Well, today I was thinking of trying to do a video about this little facet of liberalism, which I think I've identified as this. It runs along the lines of rationalism and the need to justify everything scientifically. And I know I haven't described it very well, but you'll see what I mean. When I envision it in my mind, it's the changing mood of. Look at this view, by the way. I love it, and I love this aesthetic here. I quite like that. But yeah, when I envision it in my mind, it's the general mood and the forces that pressure society to move in different ways. It kind of embodies the like the kind of Gen X, very cynical, ironic attitude, where the human race has become around the time of the Enlightenment and beyond, in our direction, it's become self-aware and not deluded, but very cynical in the way that a Gen X would be, in the way that Blackadder is on his show. I love that show, by the way. So yeah, it's this idea that everything needs to be rational, and this is also combined with kind of the Jonathan Rawls original position as well, that kind of egalitarian philosophy, and I was thinking about that in relation to how it just doesn't match up again with these irrational persuasions that we all have, like this is a good one, racial preference, right? You know, the dominant ideology of liberalism has progressed. It progressed to a point last century where, you know, why would you prefer one race over the other? It's so irrational. They're all the same. They're all valuable in their own way. They're all equally valuable. And this kind of post-racial dream was that was the dominant way back then, right? Because it was seen fair and responsible and logical. Anyone who spoke out against it, you know, they had to justify themselves, and at the time, and still today, it doesn't come off very well, and it isn't taken very well either. You know, and our side has been trying to circle what's it called? Yeah, squaring the circle, that is, of racial preference with this kind of rationale, and of course it doesn't add up, just like every other thing liberal. So what I'm kind of thinking about with that kind of Gen X ironic, cynical, you know, psychologizing of everything. So we know that humans themselves, they're tribal and religious, right? And those who have like a high enough IQ can understand these influences and manipulate them to their own ends, right? And this is rhetoric, right? It breaks all the rules of logic, and people are like extremely susceptible to it by their own nature. And this comes back to the race thing, because and I'll link the relevant video. It's a good video. Race is pre-political. If you're born a certain race, surely you're just on that team, right? And that's how it is, by necessity. Like, this is a bit of a weird comparison, but it all round in the end, it'll all come back in the end. If you've ever played the game, what's it called? Yeah, the game Spore. You know how it works. You start as like a single cell microbe, and you work your way up over millions of years to becoming like a civilization, a galactic civilization, or whatever. In that game, though, when you reach the civilization stage, so you're just one city. Yeah, just one city of organisms. The difference in how that game is designed and how real life actually worked, when we got to the civilization stage, let's say post-feudal, in the West, in that game though, liberalism never actually occurs. Like they do go through an industrial revolution, but the ideology of liberalism doesn't actually occur, right? Because they never, in their societal and ideological progression, right? Every member of the species just accepts that that they are on this particular team, and everyone else is at least a potential enemy. In our world, liberalism happened, and so it 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 kind of forces us to step back and ask the question, right? Ask the question of, who are we? What are we doing here? What do we actually value, and why do we value them? Why do you value these things? And suddenly we need to justify us being on our own team. And obviously, because most humans don't actually work like that, we couldn't face up to this enlightenment strategy, and so we've given into this. We couldn't face up to these questions, right? I don't know. My mind is fucking insane. We couldn't face up to these questions, and so we've kind of been beaten down into this egalitarian nonsense, right? And hence all the ills of the modern day have been birthed out of that. Because I'll carry on. So yeah, the coding of that game. It ensures that liberalism never comes about, because the little aliens themselves, they don't actually they never question like which team they're on, right? They are a force of nature, and they will carry out their purpose, which is like to advance to the galactic stage or whatever. There's no careful kind of deliberation or anything. There's just, I've been born, I will work in this factory until I die or whatever, and I'll advance my team. I kind of see this as I kind of see the liberal kind of rationale as humans are denying their own nature, which is, yeah, I guess that is exactly what it is, right? Humans have we've stopped being animals in a way. If you think about the old days, right? Everyone went to church. Everyone had faith in their God, and they were hopeful, and they thought of the future, and they pushed society forward, and they maintained it properly. There was no kind of reason why they would do that, other than I don't know. I can't think of a reason. You see, exactly. I'm trying to justify it. The reason, the truth is that we can't. Well, in a way, we can. If I was clever, maybe I could. But the truth is that it was just a force of nature, in a way. Okay. Like a law of physics. We are humans. We are here, and we are going to act in our natural way. But yeah, that's the thought I had on that. And liberalism is like we're trying to tell the casino how to play the poker. That's what it is in my mind. You know, it's either we play on the house's terms, or we just leave the table, right? And obviously liberalism is forcing us down that path. Is this making sense to you? I don't know, man. So yeah, that's the Enlightenment's role in my head. It cooks the right, or it cooks what is naturally good. And obviously the left come in about 175 years ago or whatever, and they've been constructing their own dysgenic and perverse worldview, something that they could build on and strategize with, and it. Yeah, I remember the type of rhetoric that was going on around the time that Trump won the 2016 election, and it was like, oh, Trump didn't win, but Trump didn't win. Hillary lost the election, and I feel like it's a similar similar dynamic with the left and the right. Like, the left were pushing at an open door, in a way, in the same way that Trump was kind of just ensured to win no matter what. So there you go. So yeah, what I'm trying to get at is, if you picture all of human history in one line, liberalism is that dot. Is a dot on the line where our species it got a little bit too clever, a little bit too. Oh, damn! My finger's been on the race reveal. Whoops! Damn it. Never mind. But yeah, we've just got a little bit too clever, a little bit too self-aware, a little bit too sentient. And we decided to see what would happen if we tried to stop playing the game, right? The fact is that we just can't not play the game in the end of the day, or else everything goes wrong. It's humans trying to build the Tower of Babylon, isn't it? And we're being put back in our place for daring to try. And let's not live beyond our means, in a way. That's the message of. I don't know if that's the message of the 20th century or whatever, but maybe that's that. You know what I'm talking about. You see the lines that I'm running along. Liberalism, it convinced us to stop and think, when we should have just carried on and played well for our team and embraced it almost. But yeah, I hope this is making sense to you. The point is that we don't need to justify. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But we don't need to justify our own goals. Is that right? We don't need to. The feeling of what we need is enough, basically. Because once you rationalize something, you're making concessions immediately. And in the battle of group selection, a concession is a loss, right? Something that, yeah, you know what I mean. Just a bad idea. I'm glad I'm awake to it. In quotation marks. Right then. I hope this was maybe eye opening, inspiring, life changing. Okay, whatever. I think we're done here. So yeah, that's all, guys. Carry on.